Now then, shall we? I'm sitting around yesterday, minding my own business and watching the Las Vegas Raiders show up against the Jets, and I was nervous because I didn't know what that Raiders team was against the Falcons last week. And Jets and Raiders, when they play, strange things happen, like, say, cutting off the end of a football game in 1968 to make sure that you get to the movie Heidi on time. You know what I mean? Like Jets and Raiders just right off the bat started playing weird things. Weird things used to happen. And they still do. I remember the Jets going to the black hole with teams with that Rex Ryan had that are just beginning to crush it, and nope. So I got nervous when the Jets got up on the Raiders, and it's so conflicting to me because I do love Sam Darnold, and this team is the team that I grew up with, and I want to see succeed so badly. And here I am just rooting so hard for them to lose because they're so close with 11 awful weeks in the book, so close to getting the individual who I believe is one of the most talented quarterbacks to come out of college football in forever and a day in Trevor Lawrence. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is actually happening because Sam Darnold, despite a small amount of mistakes, but they're big ones when he turns it over, 2 touchdown passes and he runs one in. This is the Darnold that we're talking about, still making some mistakes. And then Darren Waller shows up. And he not only shows up, but he shows up in such a big, huge way. 200 yards receiving and multiple touchdowns. Not just for our fantasy team, Chris, Whirlpool of Despair, which Absolutely. Is coming off the mat kind of like The Undertaker, like the Vikings. All right? But holy cow. Darren Waller, I'm thinking I need to look up his charity and start donating to it like, Bills fans donated to Andy Dalton for beating the Ravens all those years ago. Now I'm looking up Gregg Williams' charity. Because the Jets, remarkably, put together, after receiving all of these haymakers from Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends in the business, put together 15 unanswered points. Take a 4-point lead. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm without speech. I tweeted out the meme from Seinfeld. I have no speech. I'm speechless. I can't believe the Jets, after winning 11 straight games to get Trevor Lawrence in their midst. And I said winning, yeah, because that's the way I'm looking at losing is winning. Even if you lose, you win, is what the old phrase was from Raging Bull, the Joe Pesci line. Even if you lose, you win. Can't believe this is all going down the tubes just so we could say, hey, remember that one Sunday in Week 13 when we beat the Raiders? And we're watching now Trevor Lawrence do his thing for Jacksonville. Although I'm watching Jacksonville and Mike Glennon, knock on wood if you're with me, come back on the Vikings and tie it and go into overtime. And I'm looking, I can't believe, could the Jets actually get some help and win and still win?
Good. Even when you lose, I win.
Right. Thank you, Mr. LeVar Ball. So I don't even know what I'm thinking. I'm a total mess. I'm a wreck. I'm rooting for Mike Glennon and Derek Carr at the same time. I'm like, what the hell's happening? And then Gregg Williams to the rescue. Gregg Williams to the rescue. To everyone out there who thinks the fact that Gregg Williams, with a all-out blitz, 0 coverage, okay, what that means is there's you got one-on-one. Normally, when you're preventing a Hail Mary, you put everyone in the end zone to bat it down. Or you force everything to the middle of the field for a team with no timeouts left. It's basic. It's basic. Like the one time to actually play a prevent defense, this is the moment to do it. This is the time to do it. And the Jets decide to blitz Derek Carr, who goes up top to Nelson Aguilar. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, my God, Aguilar's open. And Derek Carr airmailed him. And I thought, well, there goes the best chance we got. That's it. The Raiders are going to be done. And then Gregg Williams does it again. He sends 8 men at the quarterback and leaves a rookie who has played only 5 games, named Lamar Jackson, by the way, on an island against Henry Ruggs, who I thought could break the record at the Combine this past year for speed.
He's so
Guy
fast.
could run 4.2. He really can. Put him on that kid with no help. everybody out there who thinks that this is the sign of the Jets tanking, I got two things for you. Well, what a great tank job to come back and score 15 unanswered points just because you knew you had this lunatic running your defense in Gregg Williams. Let's score 15 unanswered to go up by 4 and tank at the last second because Gregg Williams is absolutely going to call the worst defensive coverage imaginable. Like literally any other defensive posture would have sufficed other than this one. So that's the way the Jets tank. Let's lose 11 games and then go up by 4 and with 15 unanswered and then defensively we'll just pull the switch at the last second. Look, I know that things that are inexplicable in this world where the void is filled by tinfoil hat stuff in a vacuum. Okay, I get it in 2020. But there are so many smart people in the NFL are tweeting out that this is an opportunity to show that the Jets are tanking. You got to be crazy. What it was Gregg Williams. I'll say this. I'll say this. Gregg Williams, what it was, is a guy who is just filled with testosterone and looks across the way at Gruden. Okay, you're such a genius. Here's how big mine is. I can't just win on a prevent defense batting it down. I need to sack your quarterback and spike the football. Here, let me take my Williams out and put it on a table and stare you down, Gruden.
That's exactly what it was.
Let me take out my Williams and measure. Let's measure, John. That's what that was. It wasn't a tank. And the ultimate evidence that it wasn't a tank is this very day, 20 minutes before we went on the air, the Jets fired Gregg Williams. Because I'm sure the head coach, who doesn't want to be and forever, and doesn't want to be fired and forever, and had it all set up for the team to win, and Darnold did look his best all year long. He doesn't want this thing to go down like this, especially when he knows just how bat guano crazy that call was by Gregg Williams. So now the Jets have a new defensive coordinator for the final 4 games. So I tweeted out, and I regret it, Chris. I said it here, and you were like the devil on my shoulder, like tweeted out. I'm like, did they send 8 men to go go get him?
But the thing is, like, I know you don't want to fire people. You're a good guy, but he's not a good guy.
Well, I mean, I understand you're talking about the bounty gate and all of that stuff.
Like,
no. It's got nothing.
I understand, but
how about this?
You're worried about his, how he's going to feel and how it looks for you.
No, because I work with coaches, and I know that firing coaches, it's a personal thing, and people get affected and all of that stuff. So I should know better on that front, but I should also know better on another front, and this is how we'll end it. Years from now, when the flowing locks of Broadway Trevor needs to pick the confetti out of those flowing locks. And he'll get used to it because, he'll have multiple confetti-type moments in the Canyon of Heroes. When those days happen, and I look at you, Chris, and I'm so happy, and I can't believe my good fortune in the same way that you spent 20 years in disbelief of your good Brady fortune and all.
Of course.
Packers fans with Rodgers and Seahawks fans with Russ and obviously everything going down in Kansas City. I will have that one day too with Trevor Lawrence. And I will remember the hero, Gregg Williams, who could not resist keeping it in his own pants, if you will, figuratively. Could not resist trying to measure up with John Gruden, the guy who sent 8 at Derek Carr. Gregg Williams, and it's all said and done, I regret that tweet for obviously personal reasons, but I just regret it. I should be feting him. We will raise a glass to Gregg Williams, who saved the Jets, who made sure that photograph of the future of Trevor Lawrence as it was fading like Marty McFly came right back into focus. He punched out Biff with that absurd call. I should be raising a glass to you, Gregg Williams, via con Dios. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.